My bum of a boyfriend decided to ruin my road trip. My 40 male boyfriend, 39 female, and I took a road trip to celebrate my career milestone. I cut it short after 4 days and I'm currently leaning towards ending our relationship. We planned it for 12 weeks. I covered the accommodations and he would cover meals and fuel. We were to leave by 6 a.m. on the first day, but he didn't show up until early in the afternoon after constantly telling me that. He was already out of his house, but then I had to call him because it doesn't take hours to get to my place. First it was his family needing something, then he had to meet with a coworker, etc. By the time he showed up, I was furious and frustrated. We stopped for gas and he went to the public restroom and said to just fill it up on my dime and he would take care of whatever else had to be purchased next time. He only covered one meal that day and complained when I wanted some snacks. On the third day, he wanted to meet with his ex-Mill and Phil out of state and pick his daughter up, 17 female. His daughter lives in our town. I agreed, as we had talked about her spending most of the day with us. I was weirded out that she was carrying a backpack and found out while driving that he had invited her to stay with us in our bedroom without even asking me. I tried not to make a scene, but I'm sure my face said it all. I told him privately that he needed to pay for a separate room so that she could stay with us. He blew up at me, accused me of being two-faced and faking loving his kid. He also accused me of having agreed to let her stay over, but that's simply not true. I would have made arrangements for a small suite or connecting rooms or something. Our room had no spare bed, and we had planned on having intimacy every night. I would not be comfortable having to squeeze myself in bed with them because he made a unilateral decision, and I didn't want her to sleep on the floor, both because of privacy and because it felt like a put-down, and it wasn't her fault. He said that I was creating situations and trying to burn a hole in his pocket, but he rented an extra room. He came back about 30 minutes later to get his toothbrush and some belongings to go spend the night with his kid and slammed the door. I spent a horrible night, both hoping that he would come back to work things out and feeling both guilty and very disrespected. Next morning she was nice as usual, but he gave me the silent treatment. I tried to talk to him and he low-key barked at me that I ruined everything and that I killed all his attraction for me. I tried to control myself and avoided crying, but whenever I looked at him he looked angry and kind of going on a power trip. I asked if we could talk later, and he buried his face into his phone. I drove his daughter back to her grandparents and kept driving back home, and when he asked where I was going, I said the road trip was cancelled. I left him at his house and drove back to the rest of the trip but didn't enjoy it at all. He called me several times but I didn't answer. I'm not even trying to punish him. I'm not going to go over a conversation with someone who said he's not attracted to me. I already put all of his stuff in a box so that I can return all of his personal belongings. I'm very confused. We've had arguments like the next couple, but never like this. I'm rethinking and trying to figure out if not allowing his daughter in our bedroom was an insult or what. He has joint custody, so he sees her all the time. I'm also pissed that maybe he wasn't planning on honoring our agreement since I had to push him and remind him to buy our meals and fill up the tank.